Kevin Leary is with us this morning. I know where you stand on this. You are definitely not a fan of the government taking a role in private enterprise, are you?
No, not at all. What's broken? Nothing. The American economy for 200 years is the gem of the globe. The private sector has been working with the government for 200 years successfully. We remain the largest economy on earth. 52 cents of every dollar invested on earth comes here because of the policies we have in place. We let good companies thrive, and then when companies fail, they die like a slug on the bottom of the ocean, and the protein gets reabsorbed through private equity back into the winning management teams.
And they're turning around and saying you can't afford to lose the chip industry. You want to develop it in America to go after China.
Well, you're talking specifically about Intel.
Yep.
Intel lost its way a decade ago. It should have been sold a long time ago in pieces to the other players that emerged as winners. It's okay in the tech sector, and it's been proven for 100 years that technology evolves, management teams win and lose over time, and the system itself works so efficiently that we remain the envy of the world in tech. Don't mess with it. Intel is a dog. I would never put my own money into it, and I'm glad I didn't. It's where money goes to die. And I certainly don't want to put my tax dollars into it. I'm being force-fed a loser. You know, I keep saying the same thing. Let it die. It's a grandmother on life support. It wants to die. And other people want to come and buy the pieces that are left. Nobody wants the product, Stuart. Who's going to, okay, we put 10% in taxpayers' money into this. Nobody wants their products. Nobody. What are you going to do? Force feed the chips down a dog? Who's going to eat them? This is a really, really bad idea.
I think we got the message there. You've spoken loudly and clearly on this.
I speak the truth.
Yeah,
that's it.
Okay. Look, immigration data, according to this new data, more Americans are fleeing to Canada. You're a Canadian, I believe. What's going on here?
Well, I have to be full disclosure. I always say this. I'm also Irish citizen, and I have a residency card, the UAE. I just want to get it out there, okay? My kids are all American, and they were born in Boston. So, you know, I'm a guy with feet in many countries. They're going to Canada right now for a bunch of different reasons. The immigration policy there is currently more liberal than it is in the U.S. Immigration has almost fallen to zero here, and a lot of people would like to start looking at that in a more organized legal fashion. But while it remains so tight, many people are taking advantage of policies that were put in place during the Trudeau era that have not been modified yet. And so in certain provinces like Alberta, which is booming.
So they're not fleeing America because they don't like it.
No.
They're going to Canada because there's opportunity there to get in and stay there.
And during the period where students, for example, weren't getting visas or were threatened not to be getting visas, some of them went to Canadian universities, and a lot of that's happening. But, you know, I am looking forward to, now that Canada is a more cooperative narrative with the U.S., a trade policy to be in place with them in a matter of 90 days. I think it's be good for both countries.
It would indeed. Good stuff. I want you to tell us about this trading card. You bought it for $12.9 million. You were part of the group that... You didn't buy it outright yourself, did you? You were part of a group that bought it. What's so special? There it is. What's that about?
Well, I'm very proud of this trade. I've been looking at this market now for 3 years. First got involved with Michael Rubin on the set of Shark Tank. He brought me into this thing called the hobby, and I met a guy named Shine, who's a legendary, the #1 guy collector in the world. And I said, you know, I'm going to look at fund flows. Just like modern art, contemporary art, look at that, because I like alternative asset classes. This asset class has a tremendous amount of funds flowing to it, but it's only to the pieces like a Jackson Pollock or a Warhol. You have to buy the high end. This turns out to be the #1 card on earth, the highest price ever paid. So I said, I'm going to figure out who's going to bid for it. I'm going to form a syndicate so I don't have a bunch of competitors, and then I'm going to buy it. It ended up only being between 2 global competitors. I thought this would be the beginning of a great index because I'll never sell this card. This card will never be sold, but I'm going to buy more cards like it and build an industry. I think I'm going to go for a 5% weighting like I have in gold and like I have in Bitcoin. 5% weighting in
New
cards.
asset class, but you've got to go super high.
I can't believe how much interest there is in this thing called the hobby. Every father-son loved this trade.